Haven't done that in 6 weeks. 196. At least I made the time, which is 2.0 flat. 7 yards. .172. 165. Oh, love it. Guys, I literally have not been out here for 6 weeks. Okay, before I jump into this video, I keep having to bring this up. Guys, yes, this is an RMR. No, it's not battery operated. My issue with optics on handguns is dependency on batteries. This is fiber optics driven. It is bright sunlight and it's blooming like crazy, but it's still usable because the dot is so large. I'm gonna say that is probably 23 or 24 yards. And you can see that last one is pretty much a dead center hit. So flash sight picture, by the way, 24 yards, that's a 6-inch lollipop. This is roughly the size of a thumbnail in the middle of that. So guys, the fact is, if you can't find your landmarks with a fiber optics driven RMR, you probably have higher expectations than you really should. But let's jump into this video. Okay, I released a video a couple days ago and people have already been commenting, and the consistent 2 questions that I'm getting from the video are why I no longer teach firearms and why I decided to leave law enforcement. So let's get into that. Why I no longer teach firearms. I used to teach out here. Plainly put, I make better money making slings, stickers, pull tags, and it is a far better use of my time than the dollars that I would make off of firearms training. To give you an idea, my classes were $250 for an 8-hour block of instruction. So you consider $250 for 8 hours of work. Now in reality, it's not even 8 hours of work. It's more like 12 hours of work, because there's always a bunch of stuff that you have to, a bunch of emails that you have to answer, a bunch of repetitive things that you have to say over and over and over again, even though you write things down in the frequently asked questions. And so what ends up happening is there's a lot of email stuff, plus there's an hour plus of work before the class starts, and probably an hour and a half to 2 hours of work after the class ends. And sure, if I'm running 30 people at a time, okay, I'm making money. But I would cap out at classes of like maybe 5 people, because I don't like running classes with a lot of people. So I wasn't really making that much money on firearms instruction because I don't like running massive classes. I like one-on-one or one-on-4 instruction, 1-on-5 instruction. Okay, so that's that. The other thing is, why did I leave law enforcement? For those of you who are cops, you're laughing at this question because you understand why I left law enforcement. For those of you who are not cops, who think law enforcement is all kinds of swell, you don't understand that law enforcement, for cops who want to be great cops, for cops who have language skills, who go out of their way to send themselves to private instruction to be the best cop that they can be, that type of cop doesn't do well in a law enforcement environment propagated by good enough training, the good enough mindset, the types of cops that have the mindset of you're making us look bad because you're choosing to be an excellent cop. You're making their incompetence stand out for what it is, incompetence. And by default, by being a great cop, you're making yourself stand out for your excellence. So what you end up with is cops who expend energy to burn you rather than expending energy to make themselves the best cop they can be. I know that some of you that are watching this are going, well, it's a bunch of crap because my brother's a cop. Shut up. Shut up. Hot Pockets, shut up. Your brother is this guy when he's around you. But when he's in uniform, he's this guy. Just because he's your brother, your uncle, your sister, your whatever, when they're with you, they're this person. When they're a cop, they're this person. Trust me, guys, because I was the same exact way. I was one way around friends and family, and I was a whole nother way in uniform. And I was a darn good cop. And I made it a point to go to as much training as possible, but there are 2 Abners. There are 2 dramatically different Abners. And I say to you, you don't know your relative, friend, whatever, as well as you think you do. And law enforcement, and it's gotten even worse since I left, but law enforcement, by and large, you can see my eyes, because now when I film videos, I wear clear glasses because I want you guys to see me more clearly. And you can see my eyes moving around because I'm trying to find the most painless way to put this, but there are certain things that can only be said straight on. Law enforcement, by and large, is propagated by men and women who are complacent. They have no drive to be great cops. They have no drive to be public servants, which is what they're supposed to be. And that is no longer espoused by law enforcement. COVID has shown us, with all the lockdowns, that you give this much power to a human being and they will take this much. They will create rules and regulations out of thin air just so they can have their way with you. And we saw that more boldly in law enforcement than we saw that in any other line of work. Law enforcement steamrolled over the populace worldwide, not just in America. And we saw embarrassing behavior from police officers. Following orders, just following orders. That's historical, but if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm so sorry for you. Some of you are going to think I'm coming across as a snot. I'm not. Guys, I've lived it. I've lived the law enforcement lifestyle, which is why when I walked away from law enforcement, I didn't look back. I just moved forward. So I miss being a police officer. I miss the service to my country, because when you're a police officer, you really are a servant to the people, and you have a protective mentality about you, and I miss that. But I don't miss all the politics and malarkey that goes with it. So hope that answers the question. As always, I thank you guys for your support. I thank you for your donations. I thank you for your purchases of slings and different products on the website that keep Tier 1 Citizen independent, guys. I am truly independent. As always, I thank you guys for watching. God bless you all. Get those guns out and practice. Have a good one. .164. Love it.